the Autism Services office. They gave me the most help. When Taylor got his diagnosis and when our counselor sent us up to the Autism Services office, we met a man named Brent. He was my first official foray into the world of autism, and I couldn't have asked for anybody better.
We were lucky enough to have her go to the Kinsman Children's Center for a half-day program for a year, and there were 6 autistic children in that class that she was in. And it was in that class, getting some therapy and some programming, that she started to change. Going into that program at 3.5, she was pretty much nonverbal. And within about a month, she started saying one word at a time.
You know, we tried with the speech, but we found that we kind of implemented using sign language ourselves. The school, all the EAs and all the teachers at school use sign.
We do biomedical interventions, so started with the gluten-free, casein-free diet because, it helps some kids, so maybe my kid will be one that'll help. Diet is such a bad word in the autism community because it's so much work. I agree 110%, it's so much work, but you have to try it. Through research on the internet, I found out about Dr. Gutstein and relationship development intervention. This therapy is where I'm seeing the biggest results with Taylor. Before I used to feel like I was just a caregiver to Taylor. I felt that anybody could have stepped in and done the role that I was doing with Taylor, and he wouldn't have missed a beat. There was no connection. And I don't feel guilty saying that because it's true. Taylor and I were not connected. There was no bond there. Now that we're doing this therapy, I feel like his mom.
I don't think you can help but become an advocate for your child. Not everybody out there is going to be understanding of your situation or how your child will be, and you find yourself sticking up for your child. You have no choice but to do that.
I'm a mom first and foremost. I'm an advocate for Taylor, a very close second. There is no one else who cares as much about what happens to your child as you do. You have to understand that and you have to accept that, and it's okay. Feel good about it. You risk being seen, I risked and was seen as the emotional parent. Things were never good enough, and no, I have very high standards. I like to think that I've grown as an advocate. I've learned how to pick my battles. Not everything is a battle, it can't be. You have to judge for yourself what's important to you and what's important for your child, and then when you've made that decision, then you do what you can.
One night, the other two were in bed. Andy had crashed on the couch watching his movie, and Lucas came and cuddled with me on the love seat. And it was since he'd started this methyl B12 therapy, and he'd been on it for a couple of months. And we laid there for like a half an hour, and he was holding my face and looking into my eyes and looking into my eyes. And that was the first time that we just held each other's look, and he was just holding my face and it was just so beautiful and gentle, and I was the only thing in his world and he was the only thing in my world, and I'm trying to throw things at Andy, try and get him to, wake up, and I'm like, look at this, look at this, look at this.
Taylor loves basketball. He was on the bench during a game, and they were in a high school gymnasium, so there was a game going on this side of the gymnasium and a game going on right beside them, right? And I could see him talking to his coach, Coach, I gotta go to the bathroom. And the coach said, yeah, okay, go. And he just turned around and walked right through the game that was going on the other side of the gym, just oblivious to it all. I gotta go to the bathroom, and that's where it is, and that's how I'm gonna get there. And I thought, there's my Taylor, that's him. My memories are when he comes to me and says, do you remember when? And I say, yeah, I do. and we said, and he'll say, or I'll say, we had fun, or, that was scary, or let's do it again. Those are the kinds of memories now. It's not just my memories, it's the memories that Taylor and I have of the stuff that we're doing together. Those are the ones that are going to really stick out for me.
It's funny how such little things make us so happy that teaching Megan to sip through a straw was a nightmare. She just couldn't grasp the idea. She got it, and we were just so happy that she's sipping through a straw, where most people take a lot of these little things for granted, that we just think, wow, this is super.
With the number of things that people see their children do and do naturally, we don't experience that. I mean, we experience a lot more difficulty, but when those little things do go right, we have some moments of joy that I will guarantee other families do not get a chance to experience. There is help out there, and reach out for it. Wherever it is, whatever it is, look for it and find it. It'll make a world of difference for your child.
So this is just a part of who you are. It's an important part. I mean, it's your children, I understand that, but it's not who you are. It doesn't become who you are, just like it doesn't become who your child is. Your child is still your child. They just need a little more help than maybe somebody else does. And there's people out there that will help him, her. There's people out there that will help you.
And I think for me, you need to go through that period of mourning their futures, mourning your plans, for what lay ahead. And once you recognize that you'll have to make adjustments, they're just adjustments. You learn to celebrate all those little victories, and let the other stuff just deal with it and move on. Don't let that stuff eat at you. You did nothing that caused this. And science will catch up, and maybe someday they'll figure out what has happened. Maybe they won't. Either way, love your children because they're a gift, and don't let the small stuff bring you down,
I'm hoping he moves out one day. I love him to death. But I hope that with the therapies that we're doing, and I hope that one day he comes out to me and says, you know what, Mom, I'm going to get an apartment with the guys, or, I got a new job and it's in Regina, and I have to move. And he's okay with that, and I'm okay with that.
Autism Services is an organization that'll give you the opportunity to meet other parents. And even if it means that you're just meeting these people casually while you're enrolling your child in a program, or while you're dropping them off, just that bit of contact will give you an opportunity to connect with somebody who knows exactly what you're going through.
But you're not alone.
Because your friends and your family, even if they are as supportive as they can be, they will not understand what you're going through as other parents will. That's who you need to connect with.
Yeah, life as you know it it's not anymore. You just got to accept that you have an autistic child. Where do you go from here? And you're going to do the best you can.